Y'all know what
Superman 2025 was stupid. It was dumb. It was corny. It was cheesy. It was goofy. It was campy. And it was one big old piece of trash.
Okay. Alright, usually I agree with Tyron, man. Tyron Magnus is cool and he has his opinions, and a lot of people seem to agree with him, including me. But this one right here, I'm gonna have to disagree. If you didn't see the video, my Superman out of the theater reaction yesterday, go check that one out. You'll see why it went super freaking viral compared to other videos on my channel. All right, very controversial. But let me just address something real quick. This is not meant to be a competitor of Henry Cavill. This is what it's meant to be, which is comic book accurate. Okay, so now the nerds watching this right now, you're just gonna have to come to the realization that comic books are corny for the most part. Comic books are nerdy. Most girls, besides what's her name, Snarky J or something like that, most chicks, besides a little niche of cosplay and anime type chicks, that ain't bringing you in no women. You are nerds. This movie is for nerds. This movie is supposed to be comic book accurate. It's not supposed to be a force of nature, Superman, all powerful, this, that, this. It's supposed to be campy. It's supposed to be a little bit corny and goofy, because in the comic books, besides Superman being all powerful and everything like that, he's kind of funny at times too. And you'll see that with Christopher Reeve's version, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, he's a human. He grew up in Kansas. Like, ain't that what Henry Cavill said? You hear me? So, like, dog, he's gonna have a sense of humor. He's not gonna always be serious all the time. And the people he deal with, if they're humanoids or anything like us, they're gonna have a sense of humor too, even at the worst of times. I mean, look at black people. We go to the club even though we're oppressed. Anyway, we ain't gonna go into that. So people can find, the scripture says, find joy in tribulation. So, I mean, I don't want to like fight about the fact that it's a little bit corny. It's supposed to be. These movies are adaptations of comic books. Okay? You have to remember, like, even with, hold on, let me get that out y'all way. Even with, damn, I forgot what, with Thor, Love and War, Love and Thunder, I mean, in the late 90s and early 2000s, you know, like, it was Blade that made it rated R. It was Blade that came through and made it to where comic book movies can be for adults. But don't forget stuff like Blank Man, you know, stuff like Meteor Man, like, you know, all of those adaptations, that stuff is for kids, man. Now you're forcing yourself as an adult to remain in kiddie land, and then getting mad because the comic books aren't made for adults. And that's just where it is. So we can watch the movies, but if it's a little bit childish, you gotta remember it was a freaking cartoon comic. All of them. You know, besides like Spawn and a couple other ones that just was dark from the beginning. But a lot of them guys, they have humor in them and have corny, weird, unbelievable stuff in the comics. It's supposed to be like that when it goes to the adaptation. Okay? So let's continue.
I said it was one big old piece of trash. My God. That was one of the dumbest, stupid superhero movies I've ever seen, and I've seen Thor, Love and Thunder. The crypto bad dog jokes were played like the screaming goats. Hour later.
Yo, like I said, guys, I started off on the no replacing Henry Cavill, you know, train the same way as Tyron Magnus, John Campia. Everybody was like, nah, David Corn Sweat. He got fake muscles, he's weird, and and all of this extra stuff. And then you started seeing the trailers all the time, and the trailers was looking corny as a mug, and they had issues with his eyeball when he was flying in the first trailer and all of that. So you was like, yo, nah, this is gonna be trash. But the problem is, a lot of people don't want to hear the I told you so's. A lot of people are too prideful to be humble. So they'll keep the face in order to save the face. What I mean by that, like how they started off, they gonna keep that same energy. If they said it was gonna be corny before, I mean, people with million subscriber channels don't want to look wrong to their audiences because they know that they can influence people that are followers. So they'll come on here, and to keep their face, they'll be like, yeah, it was garbage. Now, I'm not saying that's what Tyrone is doing, you know what I'm saying? Hey, everybody had their opinion, right? But, hey, you know what I'm saying? I know for a fact, because I know some of these people, even if they did like it, they're not going to tell you that because they spent 2-3 months ragging on the movie. Now, it's only a few people. Like I said, I was mature enough to give credit where credit is due. John Campia, he switched it up and was like, yo, it's a good movie, man. He started shaking and convulsing and getting like crazy feelings and stuff like that. Another one with Thor Love and Thunder. Somebody say, and I've seen Thor Love and Thunder. Yikes. Now, Thor Love and Thunder, in my honest opinion, was not a bad movie because of the humor. It was just bad because of the writing, in my opinion. Because keep in mind, like, you got to give a little room for grace. These are supposed to be comic book movies. Now they're getting to the point where you can't even take your kid to see them anymore. So just because it doesn't pluck all the strings that you like, it don't show enough of Wonder Woman's butt or enough cleavage of Supergirl or enough carnage of blood or something, like, ain't nobody die yet. You gotta remember, man, these were made for kids. So just be grateful that it has an adaptation at all. Enjoy what you can enjoy out of it. But if it's comic book accurate, give credit where credit is due. Now, if it's not comic book accurate and it sucks, then okay, you'd be like, oh, the reason it sucks is because it's not comic book accurate. But if they make it comic book accurate, I mean, don't get mad because you get to see the cartoon in reality. It's corny while you was reading it. You know what I'm saying? They say they're one-liners in the comic books. They do all that corny stuff in the comic books too. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me, battle me in the comments. Tell me I'm lying. Okay? So let's see what he really ain't like about it. We're gonna skip a little ahead. Let's skip ahead.
A lot of characters in this movie, and I gotta say, I think that James Gunn actually handled that well. I think he's actually has the talent for that. I liked Mr. Terrific. I did not like Hawkgirl. Guy Gardner was okay with me. I liked, what's his name? Now I'm forgetting his name. Metamorpho. I liked him. Lois was okay. Jimmy was alright. Lex was kinda good. Crypto irritated me, but the work.
I don't think he liked dogs, period. I just don't think he liked dogs. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, a lot of people were saying that they really ain't like the way they wrote Lex Luthor into this one. Also, a couple people were saying they didn't like, yeah, it was a couple people saying they didn't like some of the other characters, the supporting characters and stuff. But for the most part, the main characters, a lot of the people liked them, you know what I'm saying? And as you can see, he's giving positive to a lot of it, letting you know, I mean, if you like the characters, then the movie couldn't have been that bad. The only thing that can tear up a movie when you like the characters is the script, the story arc, and all of that extra stuff like that. So maybe that's something that we can all agree on. But I mean, it's comic book accurate from what I've seen.